I'm gonna be playing with slime where I share the diss track that I made about my man because y'all been bugging me about it. Yeah. We ready?
Now ain't nobody said this rap was funny, but it sure is funny.
Also, this beat is not mine. I got it off of YouTube. My brain keeps saying you're a shooter, but I ain't got no time for a new one. He told me he was a good one. He got snakes on his head like Medusa. I'm a good girl, I don't go out. I don't know what the nigga be complaining about. How hard is it to open your mouth? See, this the crap I be talking about. I could be like them regular hoes, never hit you up and leave you alone. But instead I'm always on your phone, waiting for your black butt to go home. You a hypocrite, you don't act right. But how do you expect that act right? You the type of nigga who is psycho. I think we can agree that I'm right though. I'm unhinged, y'all. Like, I just be doing stuff when I'm bored, and he had made me mad one day, and it wasn't even like a real mad. It was like, really, like really. He thought it was hilarious, even though I was being serious. But he started acting right. The rapper's trash. We know this, but you know, my favorite line is he got snakes on his head like Medusa. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? I'm not a rapper, y'all. I just do things, you know, for fun. Yeah, and I'm corny, so yeah. I low-key do not want his friends or family to see this because I swear I'm normal, y'all. I swear I am normal. He just makes me crazy sometimes. Story time on how there was a pew-pewing across the street from my house. Like, it was going backwards and forth while I make slime. I was definitely still in elementary school, y'all. Like, I was little. This happened in, like, Orange County. But it was, like, we was San Bernardino. It was, like, we was in the ghetto, but we wasn't in the ghetto, if that makes sense. I'm low-key gonna put a little more, but y'all already know. Get your money's worth in what? Let it dream. Period. If I'm being honest to y'all, I don't really remember who was up at my daddy's house. Like, I don't remember who was there. I just know it was, like, me and my sisters and my dad for sure. I can't remember if his girlfriend was there. I don't know. We didn't live in the ghetto, but we lived in the ghetto, if that makes sense. So, I remember I was in my room, and I had just was able to have my own room. And I was definitely, like, maybe in the 5th or 6th grade. But I had just been able to have my own room. My room had a bay window. Now, if any of y'all remember this room from the Storytime where it was like I seen a man go into the backyard, it's the same room. So with that being said, what's it called? There was this one house, it was like maybe 3 houses down, if I could remember, that was always in some trouble. Like, the police was always down there. It was an always issue. Wait, why can't I talk? It was always an issue with them. I said always issue, whatever. I feel like I've told this story time already, but me and my sisters are sitting in my room, like, playing, doing what we're doing, and then out of nowhere, like, I just start to hear shots, like, pop, 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 like, going off. One thing my dad taught me and my siblings was to never freeze in situations like that. So as soon as I heard the pop, 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 I'm like, duck. Everybody just ducks. We all automatically duck. I'm trying to see if my dad's okay because I believe, if I remember correctly, I think my dad was outside, but I don't really remember. But, like, I don't know what's going on because it sounded so close to our house. I thought that my dad was out there having a shootout with them people. I can't tell you how long the fuck was going on. Like, I don't know. All I know is it felt like it was a long time, and my main priority was making sure my sisters were okay. So maybe about, let's just guess, 10 minutes. I don't know. The stuff stops, and then my dad, he's like, what's it called? Are y'all girls okay? Like, da-da-da-da. We're like, yeah, we're okay. And again, I don't really remember who was in the house at the time. I just know my dad was there. And what's it called? It's me and my sisters. My dad, he's like, are y'all okay? We're like, yeah, we're okay. What was that? I think one of my sisters even started crying. Like, I'm just sitting here like, what was that? So literally, like, 5 minutes later, after my dad had asked us if we were okay, police are, like, zooming down the street. I do remember people did unfortunately lose their lives that day, but not like by stray, like, bullets, just like the people who were in the shootout. My eye, oh my gosh. Me and my sisters, we was okay. My little sisters was crying. That was that. To the people who be like, oh, girl, why do you be filming your videos like that? Like, why do you keep Now you see? Don't clock my tea. But I be trying to stop myself from saying da-da-da in a story time. Like, I really be like da-da-da, like... Like, so many people think that I'm lying in my story times because I be pausing the video. I just pause the video to gather my thoughts, and my eye is leaking, but to gather my thoughts, not because I'm lying, but because I don't want to stutter and I'm not trying to mess up any details. But anyway, that's the story, y'all. So, bye. Mwah. Make slime with me because I never got to do it when I was young. So yeah, the bowl is dirty because I literally just made one and the video deleted. So yeah, y'all, I spent $125 on it, so I'm gonna get my money's worth, and we gonna wait till all of this is drained out. We're doing pink, y'all, and this is some smelling good shaving cream. Yeah. And this is lotion because I do too much. And please don't mind the screaming baby in the background. I'm telling you, if somebody put this in a freezer and was like, this is pie, like try some, I would fall for it because it looks like cream pie. It do. Mixing. I'm telling you, if my parents allowed me to make slime when I was younger, I'd probably have a YouTube slime business by now. Y'all, this is sparkly because it's metallic. Oh my gosh. But it's red, y'all. It's going to come out as, it's red, but it's going to come out as pink probably. Oh, y'all, it's really sparkly. I don't want to use the whole thing, but it's really sparkly. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Look. Wait, let me show you on the back camera. Y'all, this is pretty. Like, oh my gosh, look at the sparkle. I'm not gonna lie, I want to add more so it can come out super like the color that it first came in, because this is kind of knockoff. I added more, y'all, but it's still gonna stay this color, so it's time to add, you know. To be real, yes, I'm scared of borax, so we're doing dishwashing liquid. Y'all can hate me all y'all want. I'm scared. Okay. It looks like a lot. It do. But it's not. I like to get my hands dirty pretty early on, and this was fighting me. But we gonna get it all out. We gonna sort this out. Hold on, give me a second. I'm getting my money's worth. So we just kind of fix this up, but we're gonna get the bowl. We're gonna get everything in the bowl because we're gonna get our money's worth. Y'all, I love this one. I'm not gonna lie. Like, period. I'm a professional. Hire me. Okay, well maybe I'm not because I keep sucking at the little flippy thing. All he do is scream, y'all. Like for part 2, y'all, I don't know what other colors I should do. I have green and orange left, so y'all pick. Next time with me, y'all. Part 2. Hey, new followers. Hey. You already know I'm getting my money's worth, so we gonna wait for this to drain. Color reveal is gonna be green because that's what I counted the most in the comments. Fight me, bite me, I don't care. When I was in the 10th grade, there was this girl who said she was gonna beat me and my girl best friend up. It was on site, but then she walked past us and nothing ever happened. We only gonna put a little shaving cream this time, y'all. Y'all, she walked by every single time and minded her Mario business because she knew better. She knew better. It's an addiction. I'm sorry. It is satisfying to play with. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all, I'll never forget the time where my ex told me he was an athlete and he was just sitting on the bench the whole time. Who's picking you? Your captain's not even picking you. Y'all was clowning me for not adding too much, but what y'all not understanding is that this is white glue. So it's gonna turn pastel-y, and I like my colors a little darker, like a darker pastel, okay? Like, what? I'm cheap, y'all. I'm cheap, okay? I let it drain a little bit, so I gotta get the rest, okay? And y'all, I meant to say detergent, not dishwashing liquid. I don't know why I said that in the first place. I'm gonna be real. Since I'm like a pro, I'm gonna tell y'all do not need a lot of detergent. You just need enough, okay? I'm a pro. I know what I'm doing, okay? Listen to me. Ooh, okay, that's enough. We'll say that. So I had to scrunch my arms up because, you know, it's starting to activate. Or is it? Y'all, what's happening? What's happening here? Y'all, it is not activating like at all. Y'all, I'm getting it to activate. I had to I thought I was tripping. I'm like, y'all, it's literally not activating, like, not at all. It wasn't because I was using, like, the wrong one. So, yeah. Or I'm gonna put some more activator, but I just don't want to over activate it. And I want it to be stretchy, like super stretchy. Not like the ones I made before. So, so yeah, y'all. So yeah. I'm using one hand because I'm using the other one to push play. This look like a booger. Y'all sure y'all wanted the color green? Like, y'all, this is before. Okay. And I'm gonna show y'all after. You would think this is a no saving, right? You can't save this. I'm gonna save it. Piece by piece, y'all, it's coming together. It's not strings anymore. I just have to get this to look. I have to get this big old pile to look like this one. This is how much I fixed so far, and we still have this much. Check out. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm tapping it to get like the remainder soap off because it's super soapy. Because look, this one is like fixed. I fixed it, right? This is the part that's not, and you can kind of like, it's getting there. Y'all, I tried reviving her, but she's stiff. Like, you could still poke her, but barely. Like, I actually really did care about Shirley Green. Like, I did. And now she just, look. Make Time With Me part 2, y'all. So I'm actually excited for this. I low-key went with purple because I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna draw my name. Well, I guess it don't want me to. There we go. We're mixing. Now it's time to add the color. Wow, this is actually really pigmented. I hope this is pretty, y'all. It looks kind of pretty, y'all. It looks pretty, low-key. Ooh. I wish I could see it. It's like a lavender pastel. I love this. Okay, adding the dishwashing liquid. I got all this from the Dollar Tree, by the way, y'all. But you only ever need like a little bit. You do not need a lot. I do have to add a little more. My favorite messy part, y'all. Favorite messy part. Look. It's gonna come together. It looked terrible, but it comes together in the end. It always do. So, yeah. Bro. Like I said in my last video, bro, if my parents would have just supported my childhood dreams, I would be a billionaire by now. Me and my sisters would be billionaires. We're done with the purple, so now we have blue and blue, pastel blue kind of, pastel purple kind of, and pastel red kind of. And they are pretty. All of them. I've always wanted to mix slimes like this, so... Like this, I want to make a swirl, like a really pretty swirl. This is pretty. Hold on. This is pretty. Look at this. I wonder what color it's going to turn out to be. What do y'all think before I show y'all? We are going to put this in here, obviously, as the second one. And this is the third one. Wait, first let's layer out the second one. Hold on. The second one is layered. And then now we have the third one. There we go.
Will you stop that?
There you go, y'all. It's a smoothie. And then we're going to put this on top. Because, yeah, period, boo. Story time on my first kiss while I try to make kinetic sand slime. I've never made this before. Y'all like the mohawk? I feel like it's cute. I don't know. Y'all already know. Get your money's worth and let it drain. My very first kiss was when I was 17 years old. person who kissed me is my now boyfriend. But basically, yeah, it happened on the first time we ever had like linked up with each other and like met each other. And I decided that I wanted to go to a mall with him, you know, to see him or whatever, because we couldn't hang out long because he ended up pulling up late, pretty much. So everything is cute and sweet, and we were like sitting in the car so we can feel each other's vibes a little bit. And he was like, give me a kiss. And I was like, no. I was actually scared to kiss him because I never did this before, no. I never did this before. We're adding the kinetic crap, and it smells kind of funny, okay? I'm dodging him, and I told him I was going to give him a kiss. Whoa, I never played with kinetic sand. I was going to give him a kiss when we came back from the mall, right? He was like, okay then. He was like, bet, like, you going to do that for real? And I was like, yeah. No. Y'all, did I put too much? Anyways, so we was in the mall, and I started playing with him like always. I play too much. And he got fed up at some point and ended up picking me up and taking me out of the mall, y'all. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, he picked me up, took me out of the mall, and took me back to the car. When I start walking to the front seat, you know, no. He pulls me out of the way, opens his back door, and pushes me in his back door. I couldn't make this up, y'all. I couldn't make this up. I'm like, oh, what's finna happen? You know, what we finna get into? So, we just in the car, we talking or whatever, and so I'm on my phone, mind y'all. I don't know if he peeped this, but my phone, where we were at, I did not have good service. So I'm just scrolling on Instagram that's not loading. He was like, are you gonna give me my kiss? Are you gonna give me my kiss? I'm like, boy, I'm scrolling on Instagram. So I think he realized that I was not going to give him a kiss on command. Like, I wasn't. I'm dead serious. I was never going to do that. He did something slicker, guys. You know, he was talking to me or whatever. He kind of caught me off guard. And he said something, right? And he grabbed my face like this and gave me a kiss. Like, what are you trying to get into? You know, what are you trying to get into? I felt like that was, like, super freaking cute. Look at this. This is actually nice. But it smells kind of good, too. But I'm like, okay. And that's like the story time on how I lost my first kiss ever. And the crazy thing is, we hit 300K followers in the span of 2 freaking months. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I'm actually happy. This is really freaking cute. I wish I can go live and like thank y'all. But thank y'all. And if you love seeing me, go follow my YouTube channel and go like follow my freaking Instagram. This is kinetic slime. I kind of ate this, but like, what else y'all want me to make? It kind of feels so fun and weird to play with. Look at that. What else y'all want me to make for real? Like, what else? We're making slime with no glue. At least we're trying to. It's called face mask slime, and I've seen it, so I'm gonna try it. I got a bowl to play it safe, because I'm actually scared. Hold on. Is that enough? Okay. I'm adding glitter because glitter makes everything better. I think I'm gonna add more because, yeah. Y'all, I don't know what the girlies even use to activate it. We're just gonna try to do this. So here's our activator. Do I think this is gonna work? No. Okay. Let's see. Y'all, wait. There is no actual way. There is no actual way. There is no actual way. Y'all, I couldn't even make this up. Couldn't even make this up. Wait. You're telling me I couldn't make this up. You're telling me my whole entire childhood that I could have been actually making knockoff slime instead of mixing dish soap and putting cream of tartar in the refrigerator for 30 minutes? You're telling me? You're telling me that I could have actually had slime? Wait. Y'all, and it acts like the real thing. Like, it makes bubbles, it pops, it's stretchy, like... Y'all are some gatekeepers, and now I want to fight every last one of y'all. Bro, like, what? This is real. This is not a lie. I did not make this up. I literally use this like face mask, right? That's from Five and Below. And I use Gain laundry detergent. We're gonna name her Black Knight because she got like gold flakes in her and she looks cute and she's shiny. So, oh my gosh. Like this is real. I didn't know. Y'all need to definitely go try that. Like, story time on how I almost got jumped while I fixed my purple slime. This happened when I was a freshman in high school. So yeah, let's get into it. So I was cool. Before we get into the juicy stuff, we gotta rewind it, okay? So I would hang out with these two girls called J and L all the time, right? Every single time I seen them in a hallway, I would say hi and vice versa. The communication was communicating. So in my brain, me, J, and L are cool with each other. Fast forward, I didn't go to school for 3 days because I was sick, right? I come back to the school and next thing you know, this is stiff. Hold on. At this point, I'm standing in the lunch line and I see them behind me. So I do my regular routine because we're cool. I walk up to them and this is all I see. She's coming over here. Like, ew, nobody wants her over here. My motto in high school was once I felt negative energy, I'm gone because I didn't want to be the girl dragged across the bleachers, okay? That slime does not want to be fixed, so we're playing with a different slime, right? I avoided them and they never said anything to me. I never said anything to them. Unfortunately, my light died. Anyways, weeks go on and I haven't spoken to these girls and they haven't spoken to me. I start hanging out with this one trailer trash white girl and we gonna call her E. So one day, me and E, we get caught ditching. I was in them trenches for real. She twiddling away her thumbs in the dean's office, right? And I'm like, girl, what's going on? She tells me, she's like, girl, my friend thinks her boyfriend is cheating on her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, who's the boyfriend? She's like, the boyfriend is such and such. Well, as soon as I heard such and such, this boy had a reputation on him, right? The kicker is, him and Elle was always with each other first lunch. She was always sitting on his lap. She was always in between his legs, somehow, some way, right? Now, mind you, I don't tell old girl this because why would I tell her you this? I know high school. I seen Teen Beach Movie. I tell her not to put my name in any of the drama, but of course, what do you think happened? So another week, a week goes by, and I'm hanging out with my sophomore friend. At this point in the story time, I low-key do feel like I was hanging out with my sophomore friends, right? Next thing you know, I look, all of my sophomore friends are gone, right? They disappeared. And this is why I feel like they knew what was happening. Next thing you know, I look up, I see and hear a stampede of children marching my way. They looked like ants. The ants go marching one by one. That's exactly what it gave off. I see these two girls ahead of me who like literally did not like me. Like they didn't like me. They come up and they're like, Elle wants to know why you did this and this and that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, girl, what? She says, Trailer Trash told Elle that you said that Elle and old dude went together. I said, what? At this point, the crowd has made it to me already. So she's screaming at me and I'm ducking them. And she's like, come outside. We not gonna jump you. And I was like, no. She's starting to square up. I'm like, oh no, I'm done. Y'all, she's screaming at me, calling me the B word. And at this point, you doing all this talking, just swing, girl. Y'all, I was scared. I was 14, y'all. And I never knew about that high school life. And I sure wasn't about it. Next thing you know, Jay in the back talking about some, you're weird. And I'm looking at Jay like, what is the issue, right? Next thing you know, this giant man pops out of the crowd and he's like, why would you tell my girlfriend that me and Elle went together? Now the whole school addressing me. So I'm ducking him. I'm scared. I'm like, is y'all gonna swing? I'm trying to tell them like, no, my voice started to shake. I'm telling them, no, I have no parts in this. And basically, she ended up walking off. He talking about some, if I ever see you again, like it's on sight. Like, you're a whole man. You're not even a boy. You're a grown man. After that, I ran for my life. I went to the nurse's office and I was having a little panic attack in the nurse's office. And later on, we ended up signing like a peace treaty. So we just stayed away from each other after that. Yeah. Story time on how I met my boyfriend's parents for the first time while I make slime. Get your money's worth. Like, I shouldn't even have to say it at this point. So yeah, we hopping into the tea hot and ready. Let it drain. To be exact, this happened 10 months ago, y'all. And let me give y'all a little backstory. So yeah, I wanted to have like an acquainted relationship with his parents because I didn't know anything about them. On the other hand, this man knew everything about my family. Like this man. Story time on how I ran away from home while I mixed up my slime collection. So I've told this story on my food account before. A lot of this is like unactivated. Oh my gosh. This happened when I was 16 years old and I just felt like life wasn't fair, okay? So my mom's boyfriend at the time did not freaking like me for no reason. He always made it seem like I had like a weird attitude and it just got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. My mom also became like a freaking Karen, a black Karen. I don't know why, but she did. Let me pause the story time. This is actually one of the first slimes I made on this account. So I got super fed up and I just got tired of everyone making it seem like I was just like this angry 16-year-old who just was rude to everybody when in reality I was like super freaking sweet, right? My mom would always take like me and my freaking siblings' phones, right? And I was in a relationship. It was freaking toxic, but you know, taking somebody's phone and I'm in a long distance relationship, like, don't do me. Technically, she tried to take it and I didn't give it to her and I freaking ran. Like, I freaking booked it. She chased me around the car. She chased me around the car and you want to know what I freaking did? I freaking booked it. This is Miss Piggy. But anyways, I ran for my freaking life because it, like, at 16, that was a freaking big deal. So I ran for my life. I called my freaking cousin and told her that I had ran away and I just didn't know what to do. Mind you, my cousin, she was like 19 at this time. I was actually at her apartment complex, but she wasn't home. She was with her girl best friend, and so they had called me a freaking Uber, and I was with them for the day. Oh my gosh, they called me an Uber, you know, I get there or whatever, and I had met her girl best friend for the first time ever, right? Everything's sweet, everything's nice. I was with them for the freaking day, right? And oh my gosh, it looks like poop. I had no intentions on going back home immediately just because, like, I was already in a toxic relationship. I felt like my parents didn't understand me, not to mention like my mom's boyfriend was just the worst. Well, here's how I got caught. I was with them until like nightfall, right? And we're walking to the girl best friend's house and my cousin's older sister sees me and she's like,
let's go. Mind you, my cousin's older sister is my mom's like best friend, so she was like, let's go. Like, why, how could you do your mom like this? And like, she didn't understand it for real. Like, you had to live in the house to understand how like draining it was. Not to mention that I was 16 years old, so like I already felt like no one got me, bro. And then they proved it. Like, they proved it. No one freaking got me. So that's kind of how I like ran away. My mom kind of chased me. It's funny because before that I had ran away. Like, I was running and my sister caught me. She was running with me. Mind you, my sister is younger than me. She was like, you're not gonna do this to me. And she like ran after me. She booked it after me. She eventually found me, and you know, that was that. Yeah, like, I can feel hearing this. Ew, but it's actually a really good slime. I'm not gonna lie. It's just a lot of slime. I think I'm just gonna break this up and just put it into all the containers it just came out of. Y'all also have been asking me, like, where do I keep my, like, slime at? I literally keep them in old container, like formula containers, because of like my auntie's baby, and she doesn't use them anyway, so I decided to take them. But I think the containers are making them melt, so I'm just gonna start to get glass containers and use them.
Scary story time on how I found a tracker on my auntie's car while I make slime. My heart was in my booty hole when I found this tracker. Get your money's worth and let it drain. I ain't forget. The day literally started off regular, like nothing changed, everything was normal. So we dropped my auntie off at work and we were minding our business for the day, y'all, okay? We pick my auntie up from work, we go to the store, and we're heading home. And as we're heading home, I get a notification on my phone, and I'm gonna show it on the screen. It says something like Apple AirTag device detected near you. So we're like 20 minutes away from my house at this time, and as soon as I seen that, my heart dropped. I immediately tell my people that there's a tracker on our car because, for one, I don't own an Apple AirTag, and I know they don't own an Apple AirTag. They didn't even know what it was when I brought it up to them. First thought in my head is that somebody wants to kidnap us, because I've seen the horror stories of people finding Apple AirTags on their car. I think everybody has. I'm trying to explain to them what an Apple AirTag is. I'm trying to explain to them that it's on our car. I don't know where. You know, I'm trying to explain all of it. I don't think I mentioned this, but it showed me like our house to the store to dropping my auntie off to picking her up. Like, it showed us everything. I'm freaked out. I'm trying to figure out when they possibly could have put it on, and then y'all, I see that it says it has been with you since like 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning. In my head, it's like somebody's been watching us, like somebody got us, like they're trying to get us, like somebody wants me, like they gonna kidnap me. I don't care how many times I have to say this, y'all. I was freaked out. I'm thinking, oh, if I go missing, they're not gonna care because look at my skin color. Not to mention, I'm not a little girl anymore. They're not gonna put a rush on it. I'm just another black girl going missing in the United States of America. Then we get home, and I immediately am trying to like play off the sound, because it gives you an option to play off the sound, and I'm trying to play off the sound to find it around the car. And y'all, I literally, I'm trying to find it. I'm going crazy. I grabbed my auntie, they tell me to chill, and they ended up going down to the police station trying to figure out who owns it. At this point, I tell my friends, I'm telling my man, I'm telling everybody, because I was scared. And y'all, look at how pretty she came out. Like, this is my first time having a successful shaving cream slime, okay? We contacted the police. Like, you know, I can't say too much. The police aren't involved, so you already know how that goes. I do want to say, like, every video that I make is not a lie. I tell the truth about every situation, because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, this is not the truth, this is not the truth. There's only one video on my page that is not my story. Like, a fan sent me that, and it literally says, warning, not my story. You be saying, how do you have so many story times? Y'all understand that I am 2 decades old, right? I'm 2 decades old, so in those 2 decades, a lot of crazy things have happened. But look at the way she bounces, though. Like, let me roll her in the ball. This is the first slime that's not sticky. Yay! Scary story time on how I was left at school until 9 p.m. and a stranger drove me home while I make slime. Period. Yeah. I was like 14 years old when this happened. Y'all already know, get your money's worth in what? let it rain. So boom, this is freshman year. I already mentioned I was 14, and this is also the year my auntie ended up getting sick with cancer. So with that being said, all of like the responsibility fell on my older cousin, and you know, sometimes you forget things when you're dealing with bigger things. So I got dropped off at like 8:30, 8 p.m. and I got let out of school at like 2:15, 2:20, okay? Y'all already know, when you get let out of school, sometimes people are going to be talking in front of the school. Some people are walking home. Other people are walking to the store. Like, everyone's doing their own thing. So at this point, I'm tired. I've been in school all day. So I go to my designated spot. This is warm water with baking soda, but I already knew it was going to be a minute before somebody came to pick me up, because for some reason they would go pick up my cousins first when my cousin's school was further than mine. For some reason the baking soda did not work this time, but whatever. But anyways, this usually took around like what, 15-20 minutes for them to go to their school and then mine. I was in my spot, I was in my zone, and I was too afraid to whip out my Android. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't know where anybody else. I'm tired. Let me just kick back my feet and lay back. I'm also gonna add some of this slime. But anyways, yeah. It's actually the front of my old school, but I'd lay down on this thing. These are kids like on it, but like literally I would just lay down where these kids are sitting, but on the other side. Like, I'm gonna close my eyes for a couple of seconds. Like, it's not gonna be that freaking long. Okay, y'all, I messed up the time schedule. I actually got let out of school at like 3:40. Everything still applies, but the time is different. So I actually went to school at like 7:30 and then got out at like 3:40. So at this point, I lay down and I go to sleep, okay? And I started to feel uncomfortable, so I woke up and I'm like, you know, what time is it? Like, where is everybody at? What time is it? Y'all, it was 4:40 and I was still in front of the school by myself. So at this time, I'm looking at my phone being delusional, and I'm like, okay, maybe they got held up at practice, like maybe something important happened, you know, that's probably what's going on here. And I just decide to connect to the Wi-Fi, and I start texting my people on Text Now, texting people on Instagram, calling them on Instagram and Text Now, because my phone was not on. The sun is starting to set, it's going on 5 o'clock, and the people who do sports, they're leaving the school. Like, literally my friend, she's leaving the school and she's walking home. I know people are gonna be like, okay, so why didn't you walk home, you know? And honestly, y'all, I started to think about walking home, but across the street from my school was this park. You know, during the day, like, kids would probably skip to the park and they would do things in the park, but during nighttime, the park was actually really creepy to pass by. Really creepy and sketchy, if I'm being honest, but whatever. And then, like, walking around the park, it was just like longer. It would be a longer walk walking around the park. Like, also walking around the park was long, and it was also creepy walking around that way. And at this point, it's already dark, so no. That's a no. And I'm over here being naive, like my family's gonna come pick me up. No, they forgot. Time is going by. Time is going by. Time is going by. At this point, y'all, the teachers are leaving the school. Okay, so I'm just literally in the front of the school, sitting there like, they closed the school gate, y'all. That's how bad it got. And no teacher thought, why is this little kid still sitting in front of the school by herself? None of them thought that. None of them was like, hey, do you need a ride? No. At this point, y'all, I just had no hopes for my family. Like, I was like, I have to suck it up and walk through this park, or walk around like the park, walk through the park. And I'm so scared. I'm just gonna pray the entire time I walk. But I was so scared, y'all. I could have sworn I seen like a figure looking at me through the trees. Okay, I was scared. In my head, I'm thinking everybody else in school, they're gone. Like, I'm just the only one at the school. No. Actually, my lifesaver, I forgot to add that it was only getting colder, and at this point I was literally freezing. I was freezing cold, and out of nowhere I start to hear students coming out of like the gates, and I'm like, what? Like, people are still here? And next thing you know, I see my lifesaver, Evan was a kid that I transferred to school with, and he was so nice. Like, me and him were like, we were friends in the beginning, and then we became acquaintances. And he see me, he was like, oh, hey. And I was like, hi. And he was like, what are you still doing here? And I was like, I'm just waiting for my family to come pick me up, because I'm still being delusional. I'm still holding on to hope. He mentioned it. What? He mentions it again, and I'm like, you're good. And then, like, all of his teammates, they get picked up, and his mom pulls up last, and he's on his phone, and I'm over there just freezing with my backpack. And he comes up to me one more time, and he's like, are you sure you don't need a ride? And in that moment, I was so scared, because his mother could be, for all I know, you know? So I'm like, yeah, like,
I need a ride. And he was like, okay, like, I'm just gonna tell my mom real quick. And she's like, sweetie, come on. Come on. I get in the car and I was actually scared, but I get in the car and I'm praying. And she's like, why are you out here so late? And I'm like, I think an emergency happened at home. Like, I'm literally making up all the excuses I can because I'm still thinking an emergency happened. Whatever, she drives me home because, again, I literally, like, lived, like, 5 to 10 minutes away from the school. If even that. More like 3 minutes when you're driving. I get home and she's like, okay, like, stay safe. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And that was that. I literally walked inside and I was like, literally everyone was like, where were you? And I was like, I was at school. And they were like, oh, like, you had, like, after school program? And I was like, no, you guys forgot to pick me up. And they were like, what? Like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, like, you, like, you know, I'm just gonna say older cousin forgot to pick me up. And she was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry. And da-da-da-da. And that was that, honestly. And that wasn't even the last time, unfortunately. Story time on how me and my family was harassed by our hotel neighbors while I make slime. Y'all, this experience was so weird. Like, they literally called the office, telling the office that we were up at 1, 2 in the morning, like, smoking, drinking, and listening to music all night. Y'all already know the dealio. Get your money's worth and what? What? Let it train. Obviously, I need to get more glue. So let me give y'all a little bit of a backstory. So yesterday, me and my family left to go to the beach around like 10 in the morning. We don't get back until like 7 or 8. And when we get back, we notice that there are buses, like literal buses, in the parking lot of the hotel because of some type of youth convention. I have no idea. But the buses were here and my family is trying to get everything together in the car. And I was like, you know what, y'all? I'm gonna just go upstairs. I'm the only one with the working key. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna put my stuff down and I'm gonna wait for y'all to get up here to open up the door. Now, my plan was to do that. And then after that, immediately go get some ice. Okay. So as I make it to my floor, y'all, why does it look like school just let out on my floor? It's just a bunch of little kids everywhere. Like, little kids was everywhere. And again, I'm minding my business, but like walking through a crowd of kids or walking past a crowd of kids, they are judgmental. So, you know, my social anxiety starts to rise. Now, as I make it to my door, I'm about to like put the key in, and out of nowhere I hear like laughing, pointing, and I hear and see laughing and pointing, and then after that I hear, oh, that's the room she's going into. Now, y'all, I brushed it off. The reason why I brushed it off because I have social anxiety, like I said, and sometimes I be over exaggerating. I was already tired. I had sand in places I don't even want to speak of. So my only thing was getting in this room, putting my stuff down, waiting for my family so I can hurry up and get in the bath. Get some ice and then get in the bath. My family, they come up, they get a little bit settled, and then like maybe like 2 minutes after my family comes up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get some ice. Now, when I go to get some ice, I go to open up my door, and the door across from me, they literally open up the door at the same time as me, and then they look me up and down, side-eye me, laugh at me in my face, and then all I see is pointing, and then I turn my back. Like, I just ignore it. I'm like, what the crap? And I turn my back, and then all I hear is like, yeah, I told you that's the room she came out of. Like, I told you. Now, my family insists that the reason why they were doing that was because like they recognized me from TikTok, but I don't even know what to think. Truly, I don't. So I keep walking, and I'm literally hearing the laughs down the hall, but I don't care. I keep walking. I go get my ice, and then I come back up. Now, when I come back up, y'all, there's no more like a whole bunch of kids in the hallway. It's more of like just like a group, like a huddled group next to my door. Okay, they're not next to my door, but they're across from my door. Now, when they make it, they're across from my door. I'm walking up to my door. Same group of little kids just looking at me like this. And I'm like, boo, like, but you know, these are little kids, and I was trying my best not to say nothing. But I'm like, okay, like, whatever, like, obviously they looking at, they could take a picture because it'll last longer. How hard they staring at me. So I'm like, bro, this is weird. So again, all I hear is, there she goes, like, she's going in that room. So I come into the room, I close the door, lock the door, and then I tell like my family, like, this is what's going on, this is the weird experience I'm having with them little kids. And I just start to look through the peephole because I hear scratches like on the door, and I'm like, this is weird. Like, so I look through the peephole, I see like 2 kids come up, scratch the door, and then I tell my family, like, look, this is what they're doing. So my family looks to the peephole, and then out of nowhere, I had walked away from the door, and I hear 3 bangs on the door. And then I see my family member open the door, laughing, and then go like, I seen you, like, I seen you too. And so I'm like, bro, what just happened? And I'm laughing, and my family is like, oh, like, they just did ding dong ditch on us. And I was laughing because when I was a kid, like, that used to be fun. I'm talking a lot. Okay, I got my breath. So again, I'm in at this point, I'm like, okay, they just being little kids. Like, it is what it is. They being little kids. I don't care. I'm gonna combine this slime with the other slimes that I just made for other videos, but yeah. Anyways, I'm like, okay, like, I don't care. They're being little kids. It is what it is. Now, one of my family members goes to take a shower, and I'm on the game. And my other family member has to tell me this, but while I was playing the game, they're just knocking on the door, like, banging on the door. And we're obviously ignoring them because, for one, I couldn't hear them. And for two, my other family member, she just didn't feel like it. So I ended up getting off the game around, like, maybe, like, 11 or 12 o'clock. I don't really remember. And then out of nowhere, I'm laying down and I hear scratches on the door again. And how I know it's not a ghost, it's these little kids, is because I can hear giggling. Like, these walls are made of paper. Someone could probably hear me making this TikTok right now. I go to sleep at like 2 in the morning, 2:40 in the morning. That's when I go to sleep. And then I wake up like throughout the night, hearing knocking. Again, I ignore it. These are little kids. And then around like maybe 9 in the morning, I wake up to one of my family members saying, did you know that they called the office, telling the office that we were in here smoking and drinking and playing music all night? So I wake up, I'm like, what are you talking about? And they like explain it. And then literally after my family member got that phone call, she was explaining like, no, that's not what happened. Like, we were asleep. And the person at the desk was like, yeah, I know, because I pulled up and I didn't hear anything. So that's how I know they were just like prank calling or goofing around or whatever. So this video is already 5 minutes. They decided to go do laundry, one of my family members. And then when they came back from doing their laundry, getting their clothes, y'all, guess what we see? We see trash all over our door, like in front of our hotel door. My family insists on the fact that it was because they recognized me from TikTok, and the way that they were staring at me and laughing at me, it does give like that, but I don't want to be like airheaded and assume that. I don't know, y'all. Like, I'm not a famous person. I am not getting like, people are not stopping in the middle of the street to take pictures of me. So the fact that a bunch of little kids started to harass me all night long just because of that, it's just strange. But what do y'all think?
Scary story time on how I was stalked and chased by racist white men while I make slime. It wasn't just me, it was me, my sisters, and my dad's girlfriend. Get your money's worth and let it drain. So right down the street from Las Vegas High School, there is this freaking burrito spot. She takes us or whatever, and we notice that there is these white men in these red trucks, like, just playing kind of like weird racist music, but we're minding our business because they're minding theirs, right? And we make it to the burrito spot, whatever, cool, right? And why does my freaking shaving cream activate my slime? So we get our burritos or whatever, and we walk out and we notice that we don't see this truck anymore. So we're still walking, and then next thing you know, we see the truck pull in to go to the gas station. Even though they were just parked somewhere else, they're pulling to the gas station. Okay, cool. So we're still walking, we're chatting, we're smacking it up. And why does me and my dad's girlfriend, we peeped that this red truck keeps spinning the block. So my dad's girlfriend told us to speed it up so we can make it home, whatever. Okay, cool. So we start walking faster, and we don't see this red truck anymore, whatever. We make it to the gate of Las Vegas High School, which was my high school. So we're walking, and then we start to hear this loud music, right? So we turn around, and we see the same, red truck with these white men inside. But this time they're screaming at us, and they're basically screaming like, the N-word, and they throw beer cans, and like something with liquid in it, but it misses us. And we started to, my dad's girlfriend told us to run, so we started to run, and they started to like say, run, N-word, run. Like, it's not funny, but that's what they started to say, right? So I'm sitting here, and I'm running, I'm booking it, right? As soon as they sped up that car, I was like, we ain't making it. Like, they're on the car, we're on split, like, we're not gonna make it. And they're literally just screaming racial slurs at us, and then they just speed off, laughing. And we literally, like, okay, so how We lived in the gated community that was right next to Las Vegas High School. We literally ran, booked it, and then jumped the fence to our house. And we locked all the doors, and we were just quiet for a good hour. And I'm not even gonna lie, we were all scared, even my dad's girlfriend. That was one of the scariest racial things that I've been through, or racist things that I've been through. But it's not the scariest, I won't lie to you. And by the way, to the people in my last video talking about that's what you get because you listen to Melanie Martinez. Put a pin in that, pause the conversation. First of all, I literally stated in the beginning of the video that freaking Storytime was 3 years old. So yes, I was listening to Melanie Martinez 3 years ago because I didn't know that she was accused of being a freaking rapist. I guess this is just my opinion, but I don't think anybody deserves to get raped or sexually assaulted. So for the people in my comments talking about that's what you get, you got raped. For one, I was never raped. I never once claimed in that video that I was ever sexually assaulted, so I don't know where y'all are getting that one from. Y'all just need to listen to the video next time. I don't listen to Melanie Martinez anymore, okay? Ask that question before you start saying mean, hurtful things. Anyways, this bad boy, this is the best glue. I'm not sponsored yet, but this is the best glue, especially if you're working with laundry detergent. Comes out thick and nice every single time. I ain't even gonna lie to you.